So, welcome back to the Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. Last time we rescued the miners again, but this time for a much greater threat. Now, there is actually one more thing that we can do in Roland before we leave the region. After saving the miners, if you go to the Roland Chapel, I love how into it Shara's getting. Well, I don't think I've actually brought Tita to this before, so I didn't realize that she, uses the power of science to... That's pretty cool. Well, I guess Tita's prediction was very badly off. She didn't account for human error. I'm not sure Tita fully understands what the whole purpose of the tradition is, but, she made a good attempt. Oh no. Yeah, we all know who that is. And now Reynolds Mother is going to go crazy. It probably did. And back to the depressing music. So that's a nice little event that isn't really tied to any kind of side quest or anything, but it's just really interesting. It's kind of like a conclusion to a lot of the subplots that have been going on in Roland. So I wonder if the NPCs here actually talk about it. Oh, okay, she's talking about how we saved the miners. I'm surprised she isn't commenting on the wedding. But yeah, remember Ahmad and Ellie are two of the first NPCs we met in Roland all the way back at the beginning of FC. And there's also the whole thing with Reynolds Mother. And Kitty. Like, that subplot gets worked into it too. It's just kind of a nice thing, and also it really goes to show that during... Well, I did have this big speech prepared on how, you know, during hard times, it's always nice to take moments like this and, you know, remember that life goes on, but, yeah, let's just say certain real-life things have happened that kind of have put a damper on even weddings occurring, but yeah, I don't want to date this video, so I don't want to talk too much about that. So what I will talk about is that after the wedding, if you talk to a certain somebody in the bar, one who actually has a name, and is not just bride's family or groom's family. Okay, yeah, this is the person we need to talk to. So if you talk to her in the bar after the wedding, you get Gambler Jack Volume 11. We still have quite a few Gambler Jacks left to go, and we'll be getting all of them during this chapter. And with that, it is now time to leave Roland. And in a way, this might be one of our last times being here. It's just kind of sobering knowing that. But let's head on the road. We have more places to save after all. So the first thing I want to mention here is, bizarrely enough, there is no additional dialogue for going to the Bright family house. You'd think Josh would have something to say there, but he doesn't, which is kind of weird. I'll see you at the gate. Okay, so the good news is that this gate is still completely open. There's not really that much for us to do in here, so let's head straight on to Grandcell. And instead of going the direct path, we want to stop over in the Herb Scenic route down here. So, if there is anything at all, chests, fish, monsters for the monster book, anything at all that you missed in the general vicinity of Grancel, do it now. I said this before, but I'll say it again. Once you progress the plot by handing over all 3 zero field generators to the other branches, then simply approaching Grancel will begin the point of no return. You won't be able to do anything in any of these areas, you'll be sent straight to the city, and let's just say that once we do get to the city, when plot starts happening, we won't have access to much. So, yeah, last chance to do anything in Grancel, including fish. The good news is that there are no fish that are completely exclusive to the Grancel region. I'm just going to go ahead and just catch a fish here just for the sake of it, though. And we get a crab. Actually, we will be needing a crab for something later, so good thing we caught that. See, I've been looking at a few things. One walkthrough on game FAQs that I found generally quite good for the game. It has a lot of good maps of places. It tells you where all the chests are and where all the Gambler Jacks are. It's by someone called Drach the Dork, which is kind of an interesting name. One criticism I have is their fishing guide is not perfect. It suggests that some fish, like the salmon, are exclusive to Grancel when they're actually not. There's a much better fishing guide available on Steam, if you look that up. I might put a link to that in the description. That's the one that I'm going for, because that tells you more accurately what all of the, yeah, basically where all the fish are. So that thing right there, that is a monster that we need to fight, the Big Cactus. We want to protect against Seal for this fight too. So, I find the lark cacti have a really interesting design, and it's kind of a shame that they only show up in one area, the Hot Springs Fountainhead and here. I wish you saw more of them, because they're kind of interesting looking, and this is the only time that you ever fight the big cactus. Okay, that could be a problem. I'm gonna go ahead and heal Tita right now, because I want her to use a smoke cannon here, and I'm... Okay, I need to tomato sandwich Shara. That's a bit of a weird thing to say, but I have a reason for that. And that's because I need to Heaven's Kiss here to get Tita's blind going. The big cactus is immune to blind, but the small ones are not, so a wide area blind attack is pretty useful here. So let's go for Smoke Cannon 2. That'll get most of them at least. Okay, that might be helpful going forward. And I could try and flicker some of them out of the turn order. Though I don't exactly know if, Okay, yeah, I really don't like that thing getting a crit turn. The only way I can take it out of the crit turn is to do this, but I kind of want to, because it does hit very hard. Okay, True Comet, maybe? That does a decent amount. Yeah, that being a crit would have hurt a lot. Oh, great. Okay, so this is annoying because this debuffs your defense and strength on your whole party, which basically makes it so that you can't really hurt them at all with physical attacks. I may have some S tablets still. Oh, that's going to be kind of bad, but at least the big cactus isn't going. And yeah, you'll see how helpful blind is here. Well, not against you, because you weren't blinded. Okay, and that buffs all of your strength and defense. Okay, like I said, do I have an... Yeah, I only have one of these. I don't think there's... that's not great. I don't know if this is going to counteract it very much. I don't know exactly what percentage their debuff is. Yeah, the whole rules behind buffs and... You know what the heck, I'm going to go for this just in case this takes them all out. The rules behind buffs and debuffs change quite a bit starting with the Crossbell games. Every buff is a flat 25% increase. Oh, great, that attack. And you can also stack a second layer of buff to get a 50% increase. I have a lot of Celestial Bombs here that I really should be using. Okay, that's a better use of your crit turn than it could potentially be. You know, I probably should have used a Zerum Powder there. Because then I could have got off a crit S-Craft from Joshua. I think I can salvage this. Yeah, the monster fights in this chapter are no joke. I don't have a lot of Zerum Powders. Okay, we're out of Crisis music, but, and if anything, us, getting KO'd here might actually be a decent thing, because that means that we, lose our debuffs. Don't... Okay, there we go, that's not what I... that's, not the big stinger attack. Okay, can I get... Okay, yeah, I can get a Death Scream in decent timing. That was kind of close. I think I'll just heal Joshua. Kind of a bit of a damage race here, but once the small cacti are down... Well, most of them are. Oh, only one of them? Huh. Okay, let's, see if I can get... that's only single targeting. I don't think you really have much that's multi-targeting though, so I might as well just go for the Cyclone Napalm here. And you don't have any CP to do Heaven's Kiss, but at least your casting gem means you can get that off quickly. Okay, things are slowly starting to get more on track. And now, I should survive even if it does a... Okay, just decide to a single target hit, which is not bad at all. Okay, now things are going to be a lot better. Yep, as I thought, nothing, because we're debuffed, it's buffed. But yeah, like, buffs, like, work a little bit more, buffs are a little easier to understand in Crossbow and Cold Steel. However, buff stacking is also kind of overpowered in a lot of cases, especially since there are some characters who naturally learn crafts that are AoE buffs for strength, ATS, and speed all at the same time. Useless. Yeah. I mean, admittedly, Eustace is kind of mediocre at most other things, but that one thing that he can do, he does very, very well. So, yeah, that's that thing done. That is kind of a stressful fight, but it's over. And I technically didn't fail that fight. I had one attempt where I ran because everyone got seals. I also love how even when the enemies get preemptive strikes, we still go first now because our speed is just that high compared to them. So, stopping in Grandcell right now is technically optional. They already have a ZFG. But there are a few things that we can go ahead and do here. The first is actually show what that Fisherman's Guild membership does. Yeah, the Fisherman's Guild in Lebel leads a kind of sad existence, but, yeah. It also brings back horrible flashbacks to people who played Trails in the Sky the Third. Yeah, there's a fishing minigame in that one, but it's self-contained and it's kind of nightmarish. But anyway, we can now buy standard baits. All kinds of it. We can't buy any of the fish that are used as bait though, like trout and salmon. You have to catch those yourself. And right now, I think I probably, apart from roe, I mean, it's all only 100 mirror each, you may as well stock up. You get a lot of them as just random drops from enemies, so it's really not, that necessary, but it's kind of nice, especially if you're going for the all fishing, trophy achievement, which I'll be going for. Which we'll be doing relatively soon. We can also say hi to Elnan. And, yeah, I'm so sorry, Elnan, but I am mostly doing this just to report that monster quest. But at least we can introduce you to Joshua again. Well, reintroduce you to Joshua. This is the new Joshua. He is Astray No More. Yeah, some people feel like his last name is a little bit too on the nose. But, like, I actually pronounced it Astray when I first played the game. Well, the same as always. In a way, that is true, but the Bracer Guild is doing that as well. Elisa really does know how to calm people down. And she has Chloe with her too. I'm sure that's making people panic. Well, at least they're getting that right. I mean, can you imagine how much people would panic if the Glorious actually showed up and was not even trying to hide itself? So yeah, Grancell doesn't really need our help, but there is at least one monster in the sewers. And yeah, we already know all this. Two more places. But there are still some things that we need to do in Grancell. And now is effectively our last chance. You can also call your allies over here if you want. We're still at B+ rank, but if we check the board here, there is a Grancell sewer monster from the East Block entrance, and oh no. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that one. You'll see why once we get to it. So, in Grancell, we can head inside the Lebel news service for a bit of a scene. Maybe you can go back to old-fashioned drawings. I wonder if they have printing presses that work without orbital power. But yeah, I love that scene because it just shows that, like, wow, the Lebel News is just very, very committed, and it's just one of the best news services out there, probably not just in fiction. For once, you're actually disappointed that you're not going to be able to have Dorothy take photos. Oh yeah, he's probably getting the interview of the century after all this is over. I think there was a typo there. Should have said been a while with the full stop, but anyway. Yeah, she is probably going to take this very hard. Estelle, you haven't realized that by now? I mean, she's probably broken several cameras by now, but still. She doesn't have, like, one single camera, but cameras in general are her pride and joy. I'm sure she could get some pretty great pictures of that floating island. They're all looking up at that thing. Forget exactly where you can go to view it. Ah, yes. So, speaking of the floating islands, you can look at it from here. I like how they made different art for all the different angles. Yeah, all the orbital power in the region is inside that thing now. There's also a fishing spot over here where you can catch some pretty decent things. So you can get salmon here. I'm going to need salmon later, and we actually made back our row investment on that one. So, there's one more thing we can do in this block of the city. So, this shop that was, closed for a while, looks like someone's finally bought the place. Wait a minute. I know that sprite. And I'm pretty sure he knows us. Estelle, you're dense, you know him too. Kind of? By multiple layers of proxy? Yeah, sure you are. Yeah, I mean, he did try and murder us. And that. I mean, technically, yes, but, you still did a whole lot of very awful things. He did kind of lose everything. That's kind of interesting, like, I knew about the paying money and being set free thing, but I didn't know about the second part of this. So, Joshua actually educated me a bit here. A little bit of world building on, well, Lebel and their justice system. Yeah, breaching bail carries some very heavy penalties, I'm pretty sure. It looks pretty shady, if you ask me. So, this is actually really interesting. You've been exchanging Seaforth for money in a lot of places, you use it to make quartz and open up your orbments, but no store has actually sold it, and Dalbor's looking to fill a niche in that market. I'm sure you're gonna say, yes, all of my Seaforth was procured through totally legal channels. And that's all we get, but here, we can actually buy Seaforth with money. Now, weirdly enough, Time Seaforths only cost 3,000. I honestly think they should have charged you a lot more for Time Seaforth, but I'm gonna go ahead and buy some of this. So, what do I actually need? If I go into my, I think it's in items? Yeah, okay, there we go. I need more fire, so I'm gonna go ahead and buy some more fire Seaforth. How much money do I have left? Oh, I've still got quite a lot of money. And, well, that's a slogan that's definitely gonna make people trust you. So, as you can probably tell, it's highly recommended that you make use of this as much as you can, because once you turn in all of the ZFGs, you will have no further access to this shop. And this is the only place in the entire game where you can buy Seaforth. Now, something interesting about the Seaforth shop is that if you remember all the way back in Chapter 7 when we were on board the Arseal, we could trade Seaforth for money there. On the Arseal, you actually get the best exchange rate for Seaforth in the entire game. So what some people do is, they trade all of their Seaforth for money before the end of Chapter 7, and then buy all the Seaforth back from Dalmor, and I think you end up with more Seaforth than you started with. Also, while we're in Grancell, I believe... Yep! Anton and Ricky are finally back here. Okay, so this should have got me Odyssey of Anton. I'm pretty sure I talked to him at every point that I could. So that's kind of weird. I might have to look into that a little bit later. Okay, I think I might know where I went wrong here. Thank goodness for 999 save slots, and also thank goodness for achievement progress still being tracked across multiple save files. So if we reload back at Roland in Chapter 4... Yeah, Anton and Ricky are up here. I think I forgot to talk to them at this point. Yeah, because this explains how Anton meets, and there we go, this is the one that I missed. How he falls in love with Ina. Also, this fantastic line. So, yeah, that's Odyssey of Anton sorted. But at either Adel Department Store or at the landing port, you can buy Lebel News Issue 10. This is the only place in this whole chapter you can buy that. So it seems like we're allowed to enter the Erebonian Embassy even though Olivier isn't with us. Probably just because the ambassador wants to interrogate us. You should also be able to enter the Calvardian Embassy without Zin. I came in here because my notes say there is an interesting conversation if we go inside here. I wonder what that is. It seems like people here are confused about something. We actually know everything about the current situation, but I'm not sure how much we should tell you. Of course, you're more concerned about how all this affects you. Yeah, there are more important places to give ZFGs to, unfortunately. He's just gonna have to tough it out. So the gate of Grandcell Castle is stuck open, which is probably a really bad thing, but I want to go in here and check on how people are doing. If we head in here, we get a bit of a scene. I wonder what? Estelle is still as oblivious as always. It's been certainly a while since Joshua's seen you. So, it's just amazing knowing that after how terrible of a first impression he made, and second and third and fourth and all of the other impressions, Duke Junan is finally changing for the better. Like I said back in Chapter 3, you wouldn't think that with, again, the first impression that he made, but even Duke Junan is redeemable, and Estelle actually did help him rethink his life. It's just really amazing. Also, let's say hi to Hilda. She hasn't met with Joshua in a little bit. Yeah, sadly both the Queen and Chloe are unavailable for the rest of this chapter. They're really, really busy with administrative stuff right now. I guess one of the downsides of a princess being a member of your party, when really big national incidents occur, they're kind of busy. So there's one more kind of silly thing that I want to show here. This is totally unnecessary, since there is no fish that is exclusive to here, but we can fish on the Queen's balcony. This is another place where you can get salmon as well, so I may as well try. Yep, another salmon. Oh, and trout too. Salmon and trout are the bait required for a lot of the bigger fish that we can get in some places. I want to keep a few of them on hand before we go to Ruin, because Ruin has quite a lot of exclusive fish. I don't think we had a dace before either. Also, we can examine here and get another view of that floating island. Okay, so here it is, the monster that we need to fight in the sewers, and it's right where the wall that links the eastern and western blocks is. This could be, like, basically all we need to do is be bunched up together so that we can just spam Earth Wall. Speaking of which, Shara is going to switch things around so that she has Earth Wall. Alright, we got this from the mines as well, which is a pretty big boost to defense. So, remember back during that Blue Blanc mission in Roland where I said that we'd never have to fight Morkies again? Well, I was technically telling the truth, because these aren't Morkies. They're just a much stronger version of Morkies. Yeah, the only real difference is they have Grand Stream, which is a wind attack that hits the entire field, but that was never the most dangerous part of Morkies in the first place. The most dangerous part is the fact that, well, they are Morkies and thus can drain your HP. So, let's, I'm gonna clock up EX Shara, while Shara will go for Earth Wall on everyone, because I really want to get those Earth Walls going. It's interesting, it doesn't look like they're actually using Grand Stream yet. But, okay, Tita actually does have Clock Down, so I might as well have her aim that. Okay, yeah, that's definitely Grand Stream. And one of us is going to take the hit, because Joshua is not Earth-walled anymore. Okay, that's a lot of speed down. Okay, Clock Up EX is going off. I think I'll try and go for Death Scream here. Yep, there's Grand Stream. It's actually not all that strong, but it looks kind of cool. And it still gets rid of your Earth Wall, which you need to save for blocking their HP drain, so it is pretty annoying to have to deal with. And you've got... Oh, Clock Up EX isn't going to go for quite a while. I can chain with... Oh, Estelle doesn't have enough CP to chain, so... I guess I can have you just go for an Earth Wall. And how effective is that? I don't know, I'd probably rather have Shara just... Yeah, using it. I think Josh will be hitting harder on that crit turn. So, wow, the delay on Abyss Fall is high. It's kind of why you tend to use Death Scream over it most of the time. but the high delay can help when you want someone else to get the crit turn. That will deal with all of the small fry. No, also you explode, but that doesn't really matter too much. I don't know if these things can summon more of themselves, like the Morkies can, but I don't want to find out. And I'm only gonna, yeah, go for it. That chain's only gonna hit one thing, so let's not do that. Let's instead hit 3 things with my staff. This fall looks kind of silly when you speed it up. It's another reason why I generally don't use it that much on camera, is because when it's sped up, it looks pretty... Oh, speaking of Abyss Fall, that inflicts feints. That's not good, because I forgot to bring feint protection. I forgot these things had Abyss Fall. I actually got suspicious when I noticed the smaller AoE, because that actually does, I think, hit harder than Grand Stream. Let me see. Oh, that's not good. Who got fainted there? Tita did... Oh, crap. Okay, Tita still didn't get fainted. And I have all status curing items, so I may as well use them. The Paradise Cooler. Okay, do I go for a cancel, or... Because we are all Earth-walled. I think I'll just go for another Death Scream. It's basically imperative that I kill off these things quickly. You're still down. Tita... Yeah, I'm gonna use this to heal Estelle. No, that's not good. But the one that's actually casting isn't going until a lot later. Okay, yeah, now is the time when we need to start spamming those earth walls. Thank goodness for that time gem. Really, really helps with that. Okay, that does get you 200 CP, but I might wait until that 10% strength turn. I need to heal Joshua. Can I even get to Joshua to heal him? I can. Okay, that is no more guards on all of us, which is very bad, because you could start draining, and if you start draining too much, then this fight will quickly become unreasonable. Okay, can I... I'm just thinking about this. If some of these don't die to this, but get close to dying... Okay, that's Tita down, but... Is that all of them dead? Oh, I'm sorry, Tita, for you missing out on the experience, but it was worth it if these things all died. I do not like anything resembling a Morkie. But what I do like is that defeating them gets you the Death Quartz. So if we see here, Death. 20% chance of instant death on all of your attacks, and it's worth 8 times. So, Death I generally like to put on people. I think I put it on Estelle quite a lot, but Petrify is basically the same thing. So for now, Tina would have to give up Strike 2. That's also kind of bad. But, oh wow, imagine that on Xin with Thunder God Kick as well. With that reported, that's all that I wanted to show in Grandcell for now. And you know what, I think I'll save reading Lebel News issue 10 until the end of this chapter. So, with that, I will see you next time when we head off to the Zeiss region.